Nigerians would like to know, myself included. First and foremost, did you speak with Sandra Duru? Did you guys speak? Like, what's going on? Let's start from there.
Okay, I would say that categorically, I did not speak with Dr. Sandra Duru, but I did speak with Professor Mgbeke as she presented herself. And let me take you back.
It's the same person.
I got to know that it's one and the same person after her broadcast. Let me take you back. And I have, if you don't mind, the screenshot of the entire chats. If you don't mind putting that up so that I can speak to it.
You sent me a screenshot of your chat with her, but I'm also trying to make sure that the address of what's it called? Hold on, I just want to make sure that no address is showing.
So you want to blur the addresses?
Yes. So you speak.
Okay, let me speak. So in the morning at about 10 o'clock on the 27th of March, a dear friend of mine, Ina Agu, who I've known for the past 10 years. Last I saw him was 4 years ago, but we've always maintained contact. He's been very involved and concerned with the developments. So he reached out to me in the morning. I was tending to my garden, and he said, Natasha, there's someone I would like you to speak to. She's been doing a whole lot of publications in support of your cause. I said, who? He said, Professor Mgbeke, Professor on Facebook. I was like, okay, I've seen one or two of her posts in my support, and I think I did like and make a comment on it. He said, yes, that he did reach out to her, and then he was like, you know what, encouraged her and all of that stuff, and said, okay, if I should please call her and tell her thank you. My friend had connected me to a number of people in the past. Whenever he saw anyone grant an interview, he'll call me, oh, Natasha, I have this person's number, just say thank you. So people will feel appreciated and valued. I said, okay. So he did call the number out. That was about 10:30 in the morning on the 27th of March. So I called the phone. Hello, Professor Mgbeke. She was like, hi, this is it. I told her, thank you so much for lending your voice to this cause. She said it doesn't really matter because she's a woman. She's been sexually harassed before. Her daughter was also sexually harassed. She connected with me, and she wasn't doing it for me alone. She was doing it for, the bigger vision, all Nigerian women and women around the world. Conversations went on. But basically, the conversations were not all that she put out or what she said. And before you run down the chats, the screen, I did send you the video of all the conversations, and I would appreciate if you publish it for Nigerians to read. But while we were speaking, she told me she was a professor of psychology. I had no reason to doubt because, come on, I like to believe people on the face value of what they present themselves to be. If she says she's a professor, okay, she's a professor. I mean, I supposed to know that she is, Professor Mgbeke is just a moniker. It's just a decoy of who she truly is. And she did say she was a professor of psychology. And I was like, oh, to myself, this is who I am. I ran her through my credentials as well. She said she's affiliated with a number of international organizations, United Nations, WHO, UNICEF for Children, and many others. I was like, okay. She said she was going to use her platform to draw attention on this matter of sexual harassment, and that if I had any other addresses, so that she would also write to them through her organization. I was like, okay. So while we're on the call, if you can publish that, I think it is important I speak to the chat messages. So that was when I did send to her the first two contacts, which is the Senate President's counterpart in London and the Speaker of the Commonwealth, that, okay, while you're writing to your United Nations and other international organizations, you can also...
Those organizations, I wasn't able to blot their address. Is that okay with you?
Maybe just okay. So, but how will you? But I want you to put
organizations.
But will you put the video? I want you to put the remainder of the chat, because if you can't, then maybe you want me to do a screenshot. Maybe you start from.
Sorry, I just uploaded the wrong one. That's not it.
That's one of the posts she had previously written in my support.
Okay, so let me. What's this one? So I'm not able to blur.
But maybe you can skip that part so they'll know that, okay, that's what it is.
Okay. Let's see if you can skip that part. Okay, awesome. Sorry. Please keep talking. I'm having trouble importing it, but it would work. This is where we rebuke the devil.
I wanted to show build up something.
And you know, one of the reasons that I'm glad that you sent this is because a lot of people would also like to know, why did you delete your conversation with her? Because she put up
We're going to get to that. That's why I want you to show the entire video, the screenshot. But what might have to happen, since we want to take away the addresses of the first. Yeah, you've showed it already. Yeah, okay, so we start from here. Yeah. No, just stop. Please go back a bit up, a little bit to the top. Yeah. You can say it's Professor Mgbeke, to the best of my knowledge that I spoke with, as she presented herself. It's just like you now, Adeola. If I've known you as Adeola, you can't come tomorrow. I saw you're Cynthia. Because at that point, I was speaking pretty much on the phone. My phone was always buzzing between the lawyers and Nigerians of goodwill. I spoke to a lot of people. So in my mind, I saved her name as Professor Mgbeke. But that wasn't the DP she had at that time. The DP has changed anyway. It was a white dress she was wearing, but it was still an AI generated. I didn't know it was an AI generated video. Like I said, I trusted her on face value. So just before then, she sent me, after I forwarded her the gentleman the contacts that she said she was going to send letters to, because she's affiliated with United Nations and many international organizations that promote women's rights and all of that. So if I had any contacts that she should write to, I should forward. So I said, okay, fine. You can as well draw the attention of the Speaker of the UK Parliament and the Commonwealth. That was why I sent that. After all, she told me she had written books, and that these books would also speak to the situation at hand. I was like, okay, she sent me this forward. It's only later on in the course of things I got to know that the books she says she's written are also AI written books. But anyway, that's for her to decide or whatever. So just scroll down a bit.
Okay, so we can just play it.
Yeah, so after that, in the course of our conversation, that was me sending to her the I think that was a letter during the return. My return, that was the document, the letter, the Kogi Central Political Frontier. We did speak about that. So I told her that, look, this does not exist. We run a CAC check, and this Kogi Central Political Frontier, as a body that was used to recall me, did not have a legal bearing because it was not registered. So that was what we spoke about. Mind you, it was on the phone, so we're kind of communicating through that. I'm just letting you know the nature of the conversation. So you see that it does not, what she's saying that I said does not even add up at all. That also, I can forward to you what that was, is my petition, my lawyer's petition to INEC. That was what I sent there. So later on, she did say that she had a message. She reached out to my friend, Ina Okoli, that she didn't want to speak to him on blah, 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 that she was an independent person pursuing justice. I didn't really understand where this came from, because at that point we had finished talking. So I didn't, so when she said that, I didn't really understand that. So I think I tried to call her, but she didn't pick up. You can scroll down to see. Please play it for the... No, just let it run through. Yeah, you can see that I didn't really understand where that my friend stopped. So here, also part of the conversations we had. Now, please pause here. Part of the conversations we had was the manner in which Senator Nweboyi went all out, castigating me and demeaning me on all the news platforms. So at that point, I told her that I didn't like the fact that I am constantly being reduced and objectified as just a beautiful woman or, a pretty face, that I would like people to look at me as a technocrat, a woman who is well schooled, who is competent, who is a senator, that when men are conversing, men don't go, oh, I'm going to engage you because you are well built. I'm going to engage you because you're handsome. Men don't do that. So if you're speaking to me as a lawyer, as an MBA executive, as a senator, speak to me on my competencies and not because I'm beautiful. So that was where she now said, oh, you are a lawyer? And I was like, yes, of course. I ran her through. I'm a lawyer. I have my MBA in oil and gas management. My formative years in my career were spent in the oil and gas sector. So I did run her through that. So at that point, she said, she's impressed. Do I have my credentials? I said, yes, I do have my credentials, which I already made public in the year 2019. And it's actually in the media space. She said I should please forward my credentials to her, together with this screenshot from News Central Instagram page, that she was going to make a post along the line of identifying a woman on competences and not a pretty face. So that was where I sent this. And if you look at it, there are 15 items. Just scroll up again so that people will see. All of this, which, hold on, just pause there. There are about 15 of them in total. They were all my credentials. They were sent in. I dropped them in at the same time. It's like when you drop pictures or PDF files, they all land at the same time. Contrary to what she said on her live, that this were when I was chatting her up and offering her 200 million to blackmail Akpabio. That is not true. Nobody can type 15 messages and the same in 1 minute. It's not possible. I don't even think AI will do that, however fast and smart it is. So these 15 documents, Adeola, I'm going to forward them to you. You'll see.
So everything came in at 12:40 on my screen.
My own time, 12:40. But if you look at her own message, it was 6:40, I think. If you look at it, because when she did her own, I saw the screenshot. Remember, she's in Texas. They are like 6 hours behind.
So you're saying that the messages that she said you deleted, you are saying that they were actually your credentials.
My credentials. Look at them. I've sent. Hold on.
So
I've sent them to you. I'm getting there. Look at them. These are my credentials. There were 15 of them from my primary school certificate. From my primary school certificate, my testimonial. This is it. My secondary school, Federal Government College, Idoani. You'll see it there. These were University of Abuja, Nigerian Law School, NYSC, CAPMLP, that's University of Dundee, Aberdeen, had a program there, and many other. This is INSEAD, my MBA. Okay, this is still INSEAD, IHRDC in Boston, because I did mention that I have quite a lot of so I've sent everything to you anyway. It's in your phone right now. But that's what I published. That's it. And you know one thing, the beauty is that I just got back from the US because I was there to also see how we could further some of this, because I really am going to get to the bottom of this. And I'm told that in matters, I believe if WhatsApp is contacted, they can be able to extract these deleted items, because they did have it happen on their platform. So we're hoping that in the course of the litigations, they'll be able to extract. But I'm just letting Nigerians should just understand that it was in the course of our conversation where she wanted to make a post, putting side by side Senator Nweboyi's statement. You look at it up there where he said, does Natasha think she's one of the most beautiful women in Nigeria? So, and I told her that I didn't like the fact that women have been reduced or objectified. Speak to me as a competent individual, a technocrat. And that was why I told her about my academic, qualifications. And she said, okay, I should forward it. So that's why they all dropped at the same time. When you drop bulk messages in pictorial forms or PDF or whatever, they land the same time. It's impossible. Yeah, that's it. That's why this was what I sent to her. My work, certificates, everything. So
people may ask, why did you delete the messages?
So let's proceed. So after that, I didn't hear from Sandra. Let's go back to the text messages. Yeah. Okay. Look at the time. That was 12:40. So then at about, let me go back so I can read from my own space here. Yeah. This is it on my phone. So just to let you know that I want to read it as well from here since we'll be. Okay. So this is it from my own phone. That's the screenshot. And then this is where we are here. Okay. So now, then after about 4 hours, she sent this first message asking for a contract and asking how I was going to take care of her and her team.
So let me read it.
Let's read it. This is very important. It's important Nigerians read this because this is where things got interesting. Mind you, the 37 minutes we spoke had nothing to do with contracts, had nothing to do with I'm engaging. I never told her there was nothing like sexual harassment, that I'm all set out to destroy Tinubu's Yoruba government, that I called Nigeria gullible and hungry, that I paid Dr. Obi Ezekwesili money to carry on the advocacy, that what did she say? I was going to poison my husband.
You called her useful idiot.
That I called Frida useful idiot. Never, ever, ever. And I'm actually glad in a way that she is a witness in this federal government suit, because she has to testify on everything. She must provide evidence that is going to be subjected to verification. Because you see, there's a limit. I don't know. I've listened to some of these audios. What she did in a way is so funny. Like, apparently the way I'm speaking to you over the on here now sounds differently from when I'm speaking to you in person, or when I grant an interview, or when I speak to you over the phone. So what she probably did was get how I sounded on the phone, of course. And then she released one part where I mentioned about working in brass LNG and all, of course. But then she used some AI to now generate other parts that I didn't speak of. But again, I don't know what else she has in stock, but I'm challenging her. And like I said, I just returned from the US. I'm in London now, but I'm going to be in Nigeria for the arraignment on the 3rd, because I have done no wrong. I'm not going to run away. The 3rd of June has been fixed, 2 p.m. So I'm going to be there to defend myself fully in person. But also, I'm letting Nigerians know that this is not going to go down this easy, because people can't wake up one day and just cook up stories and manipulate and use whatever technology they think they can access just to defend the person. No, I'm saying it clearly now before the world. I never said there was no sexual harassment. I never said I'm out to destroy Tinubu's Yoruba government. I'm not one. People who know me will know that I am not a tribalist, and I respect and appreciate every tribe in Nigeria, every ethnicity. I mean, who am I? I'm half Ukrainian, half Nigerian. Who am I to talk about tribes when I'm actually one part of the other world? So that's not my nature. That's not my language. And if anybody said that, that's probably her team. The people who are sponsors were the ones that put those words to her, because they knew that I had and I enjoyed a lot of support from Nigerians, not just in Kogi State, across the country, even in diaspora. So, and he also knows, the Senate president also knows that I enjoyed to a large extent a good relationship with the president himself, even though I have never said it in the open. But I'm saying it now. And that actually annoyed him, because there was a time that the Senate president told my husband, I was like, are you aware your wife goes to see the president? And my husband was like, yes, I'm aware. Whenever she has critical issues to raise, like before I brought up the Jakarta's probe, I did meet with Mr. President to make sure that he knew the nature of that and was okay with it. So, and other things I have met in person. So I do not have a hostile relationship with the president. Even though I'm in opposition, I keep telling people, the people of Kogi Central voted me to work as a senator, not to go out there, antagonize and create enmity. And neither is also important for me people to know that my issues are with the Senate president himself, not the Nigerian Senate, not the institutions, and not the presidency. But it's unfortunate that he is wielding things to entrap all the institutions to attack me.